Well, here are just a few.
Stage 20.
Now those are just some of the things that did shoot here on the lot that obviously aren't shooting here now because they're finished. That's not to say that we don't currently make movies here at Universal. Oh no, we have all kinds of projects in the works. For example, currently shooting here is some of the hit CBS TV shows CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, starring Lawrence Fishburne and Mark Helgenberg. Now most of the sets that are here on our front lot are what we call closed sets. And what that means is only the cast, crew, and invited guests are allowed inside. However, next time you come to Universal, you'll want to think about checking out our VIP experience. That's where you yourself can become one of those invited guests and tour actual working movie sets. Now, I should clarify, the CSI that films here is indeed the original CSI with Lawrence Fishburne. Not CSI Bakersfield, not CSI Sheboygan, not CSI Hackensack, but the original CSI. Now, over here on your right is Stage 28, one of the oldest sound stages in Hollywood. Now, over the years, hundreds of movies were shot inside 28, but it's well known for its very first production. You see, in 1925, Stage 28 was built to house the elaborate Paris Opera House set from the Phantom of the Opera, starring Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces, in one of his most terrifying roles. And the Opera House set still stands on Stage 28 even to this day. Over here on your left is Stage 27, which is where some of the movie Little Fockers was shot. That's the third film in the Greg Fokker saga. 27 was also used in Evan Almighty, the sequel to Bruce Almighty, starring Steve Carell. Right now, though, we are about to move from the big screen to the small screen. Our TV history goes back some 70-plus years. For the very first broadcast was the opening ceremony of the 1939 New York World's Fair. Since that time, we at NBC have produced many of your favorite TV shows, including Friends, Cheers, Seinfeld, Law & Order, ER, Saturday Night Live, The Today Show, The Tonight Show, Fear Factor, Deal or No Deal, The Office, The Apprentice, My Name is Earl, and so much more. Now, a lot of those TV shows, hello Shag, hello Scuba, how you doing? A lot of those TV shows work on an extremely fast schedule. The average episode takes about a week to complete, from the first read-through to the final taping. Now, movies are a completely different story. The average movie takes anywhere from several months to sometimes several years to complete and involves literally hundreds of people. So where do all these movies and TV shows come from? Well, a lot of them come from these bungalows over here on your left-hand side. These bungalows house production offices for producers, directors, writers, and actors who currently have a development deal with the studio. Development is a stage of a project where the filmmaker tries to come up with an idea for a movie and then tries to get that idea produced. Sound easy? It isn't. Every year the studio receives thousands of screenplays. Of those screenplays, about 50 actually get put into development. And at the end of the day, maybe about a dozen or so actually get made into movies. So your chances of getting a script produced in Hollywood are unfortunately about as good a bet as winning the lottery. However, keep in mind, when lightning strikes, the rewards can be amazing. I mean, think about it. Money, power, money, fame, money. You know what, Jade? There might be something to that. I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, my name is Mr. Potato Head over there on your left. He is a sign of our new deal with Hasbro. We got a deal with Hasbro. We're making movies based on, I'm not making this up, your favorite board games. First up will be Monopoly, the movie. Other projects are going to include Candyland, the movie, Battleship, the movie, and Ouija Board, the movie. Although, personally, the one I want to see is Hungry Hungry Hippos, the movie. That's the one I'm waiting for. Makes me wish they were really doing that one, too. Anyway, right now, we are about to enter the Backlot, where the world is literally just around the corner. Now, we shoot the big stuff out here, exterior scenes on a large scale. Now, take a look at your screens, folks. I'll show you how our backlot works. A lot of what you're going to be seeing today are not real buildings. They're what we call facades, which are just the fronts and the sides of buildings. Look on your screens. I'll show you facades of French word meaning false front. And inside of most of our facades is primarily woodwork. Some of our facades don't even have insides. Look at these. And then there are some buildings on our lot that are called practical sets. And that means that we can shoot inside of them as well as out, just like this one. Right now we are going through the metropolitan section of our lot, and these are some of the newest structures on our lot. And the reason that I say they're new is because on June 1st, 2008, these sets burnt down in a terrible, terrible fire. And we knew all along that these sets must be rebuilt, and the design process began immediately.
It's the original.
Not yet, Pete. Based on decades of experience of some of the top filmmakers in the industry, we assembled an award-winning team to create new and improved backlot locations. Now, 3 whole years after this tragic fire, we are proud to be taking you through the largest set construction project in the history of Hollywood. You folks are truly a part of history. Right now, folks, we are on a road called Brownstone Street. Some of these sets are brand new, and others are replicas of what once stood here. Over here on your left, these townhomes are an example of the second category. These are definitely replicas of what once stood here. Some of the movie Bruce Almighty was shot here on Brownstone Street. Now, here's an interesting thing. Computer-generated imagery shows up in places in movies where you least expect it, even the ones that don't really count as effects-driven movies. You're going to see a clip from Bruce Almighty. Take a good look at it. I challenge you to figure out where the computer-generated imagery is in this scene. Take a look.
Grace, the dog! I'm in the shower! Like that. Outside good. Like that. Outside good.
Oh, you're done now.
Alrighty, folks. Now, quick question: Who found the computer-generated imagery? Who found it? Who thinks they know where it is? Anybody? Bueller? Saw a hand go up. I would ask you to answer, but I know for a fact I will not be able to hear you. I apologize, but I'll give you the correct answer. It was the doggy dribble. That was computer-generated imagery. That was not real. The dog wasn't really doing anything. They just pretty cool, huh? Anyway, right now we are about to turn onto the, if you will, main drag of our metropolitan area. This is called New York Street. Now, our pal Jimmy Fallon is actually from New York. He got a start on Saturday Night Live, and he continues to do his late-night show from New York even to this day. In fact, he's at this moment prepping for his late-night show, so he's actually in New York. He does have a few minutes to talk to us. So let's see if I can bring him in via satellite. So here he is, Mr. Jimmy Fallon, live from New York. I always wanted to say that.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there by an old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
That's absolutely right. Already we've had a few high-profile flicks shoot here on New York Street. By high-profile, I mean big summertime tentpole blockbusters based on comic book characters. Captain America, the First Avenger, currently in theaters. That's shot on New York Street. Also, The Amazing Spider-Man and Transformers. In fact, next spring, 2012, we're going to have a brand new Transformers ride right here at Universal Studios Hollywood. And it's going to be in 3D, too. But speaking of 3D attractions, let's talk about our newest 3D attraction. And here to tell you more about it is the creator of the attraction, Mr. Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. It was great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
That's right. Now, when we get to Skull Island, you're going to experience Kong in a way you never have before. And for those of us that are fans of the blockbuster film, it's a chance to continue the story of King Kong right here at Universal Studios. So here's Pete to tell us a little bit about this new chapter in the life of King Kong.
The Universal tram is winding its way through a very rough, narrow trail in Skull Island, allowing the visitors a little sneak peek at some of the wildlife of Skull Island. Glasses on, everybody. We're back in Skull Island.
intense 3D experience of... Yes, I am required to say it just like that. King Kong 360 3D, what you guys think, huh? Sweet, that's what I wanted to hear. That epic battle was projected on the world's largest digital 3D screens. They stand 40 feet tall, and they are 180 feet long. And the film was created by Peter Jackson and the team at Weta Digital. The filmmakers at Weta have won 5 Academy Awards, and they have worked on such films as King Kong, The Lord of the Rings trilogy, and Avatar. Now, I can honestly tell you, you will not need your 3D glasses for the rest of the tour, but hang on to them. We're going to have a place for you at the end of the tour. Now, King Kong is one of the newest experiences on our studio tour. We're always trying to come up with new and exciting things to show you. Right behind it, over here on your right, is one of the oldest experiences. It's the collapsing bridge. In fact, here's how the bridge looks on film. Take a look. Right now, folks, I want you to get your cameras ready because in just a few moments, we're going to show you some of the screen's most recognizable icons. Now, what you're going to be seeing on your left-hand side as well as on your screens are some great examples of what we call picture cars. A picture car is any car that's seen on camera. Whether it runs or not is irrelevant. If it's on camera, it's a picture car. Some picture cars are as famous as the stars who've driven them.
Okay.
And over the years, folks, picture cars have gotten bigger. Badder.
Да?
And faster as movie audiences embrace their need for speed. Speaking of embracing one's need for speed, one of our biggest films to use picture cars was the third film in the Fast and the Furious series, Tokyo Drift.
Ja Rule on one, yeah.
Now, filmmakers rely on our picture cars to really supercharge their movies. Adding just the right vehicle can make or break a big Hollywood blockbuster. And that's especially true for full throttle type films like Fast and the Furious, where motion control technology, along with computer-generated imagery, can help our filmmakers bring nearly impossible scenarios to life. Right now, gang, we're going to take you behind the scenes on Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, and we're going to show you how we can put these picture cars to practical use. This is special effects stage 55 that we're entering right now, and as you'll see, it's been decked out Tokyo style. Our special effects teams are working around the clock to not only dress the set, but to also prep our Fast and the Furious picture cars for today's special effects test run. Now, if you're sitting on the left-hand side, you've already got a killer view of today's test run, but if you're on the right-hand side, then when we stop the tram, and only when we stop, you can stand up and get a better look. I'll let you know when we're stopped.
Clear on the set.
Okay, we are now stopped. So if you're on the right-hand
Let's
side,
see the bullet head.
stand up, get a better look.
And go.
Please do not sit on the
Slow.
railings. I know it's tempting. Please
Go.
don't sit on the railings. Thank you.
Fire. Go. Okay, we're clear for a full run-through. All systems checked. This one's for real, guys, so watch out. And action.
For Carnage and Karma, examples of motion control technology. Take them out, boys! Oh, that's awesome. You got any other cool moves for us? Well, ask a silly question. Alrighty, folks, if you're standing up, please sit back down. We're about to get the tram moving. Once again, big round of applause for Carnage, Karma, and the entire special effects team. Yes, I am as shocked as you are that I'm able to get that song out of my head every day. Now, motion control robotics like Carnage and Karma can take incredibly precise direction, and they can perfectly repeat their performances over and over and over again, all without ever questioning their motivation. Right now, we're about to move from the mean streets of Tokyo to a little island just off the coast of Costa Rica.
To Jurassic Park.
Yes, folks, we have some props and vehicles from all three of the Jurassic Park films coming up on both sides of the tram. Now, since the last Jurassic Park movie was in the summer of 2001, I think it's safe to assume that dinosaurs are extinct. Look out. Visiting from out of state, not from California. Do you have any non-Californians in the group? Where are you guys from? Turkey? How about you? Australia? Anyone else? Non-Californian? Where are you guys from? France. Welcome. All right, well, you guys probably aren't going to believe this. You non-Californians probably are not going to believe this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. A lot of people complain that here in Southern California, we don't get any weather. Day after day, same old boring sunshine. Wait, why am I even talking about weather when we can just go to the Today Show's Al Roker for the forecast?
Hi everybody, here's
Они
today's
говорят, у нас
forecast.
нету погоды. Это означает, что все время светит солнце. Когда мы говорим, у нас не погода, значит, наоборот, да? Интересно.
Expect snow and sleet on New York Street. And we've got a high chance of 5 of precipitation for Skull Island, Amity Island, and Island of That's your forecast for today. Now here's a look at what's going on with your neck of the woods.
Yikes, that's not a good thing. I don't know where you're getting that out. There's not a cloud in the sky. The sun's out. It's mid-80s out here. I don't know where you're getting this flash flood stuff from. I really don't. Don't know where you're getting this stuff from at all. And, oh my goodness me, look at that. I think Alan may have been running the money on this one. Wow. Well, don't worry, folks. If we were in any real danger, why, we'd hear a distant rumbling sound. A rumbling sound. Kind of like that one, folks. Better brace yourselves. Here it comes. 10, 3, 4. Turn out. Here it comes. It's a flash flood. Alan, after playing a little bit of a gag on you, hear that flood is created by dumping thousands of gallons of water from the top of the hill. The water's going under the bridge is being recycled back up to the top of the hill. The rain you're seeing is created by sprinklers high up in the trees. They're called rain towers, and what they do is they spray the water up into the air so that it falls down naturally, just like rain. Now, I don't know how many aspiring actors we have on the tram today. I have to tell you, there's a moment in every actor's career, I don't care who you are, where you have to do something so ridiculous, off the wall, uncomfortable, undignified, that all you can say to yourself is, so this is showbiz. Take a look at this clip from the movie Big Fat Liar. I think this may have been one of Oscar nominee Paul Giamatti's moments.
You can't outrun the wolf, kid! Yeah, well, you got that. I got funny folks.
Now, imagine, if you will, that it's you filming that scene instead of Paul Giamatti. You get washed down the hill, the director yells cut, you stand up, you're dripping wet head to toe, and the director says, perfect, let's do it again. It does happen, let me tell you. Right now we are entering one of the western sections of our lot. This is called 6 Points, Texas, and here are two of my favorite cowpokes to tell you a little bit more about it.
Town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 Points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal line.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town while the getting's good?
All right. Well, I'll see you again, Fallon.
Oh, you can count on me. Thank you.
This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We just have to talk it out, that's all.
Alrighty, folks. Now, if you take a look around you might notice some of the doors are just a little bit smaller than they normally would be. That's so we could put the cowboys in front of them and they would look bigger, brawnier, and more husky. While some of the other doors are actually bigger, that's so we could put the western women in front of them and they would look smaller and more petite. So you don't need Jenny Craig, you don't need the Atkins diet, you just need a really big door. That's all anybody needs, myself included. Now, I mentioned, folks, that we've taken audiences from the bottom of the ocean to the surface of the moon. Well, here comes the bottom of the ocean, and you're instinctively looking on your right-hand side because you see water over there. Now, if anything, that's the top of the ocean on your right. The bottom of the ocean is going to be on your left-hand side. It'll be on your screens as well. That is our underwater tank. And what we'll do with that tank is we'll fill it up with water. Then we'll plop the actors inside like so. Then we'll have the camera shoot through portholes outside the tank. Like we did with Tom Hanks, Dan Aykroyd, and Alexandra Paul in Dragnet. Find that illusion hard to swallow? Well, how about this one? Over here on your right is New York Central Park, at least as much as the camera needs to see. And right next to the park set, we have Park Lake, which was used as the entire Pacific Ocean for the TV show McHale's Navy with Ernest Borgnine and Tim Conway. And you're probably thinking, Peter, how would they do that? The lake is so small. Well, it's the same principle that we used to film this scene from Peter Jackson's King Kong. This is the SS Venture arriving on Skull Island. Check it out. Now, Peter Jackson searched the world over to find the perfect ship that could double as the SS Venture, and the art department added several period set pieces to transform that vessel into a 1930s-style freighter. Hang on, I'm getting a text here. Hang on. So the guy in the second row, dude, you don't have to text me, man. I'm right here. You can just talk to me. So my bill is so high, people keep texting me, they don't have to. Anyway, right now we are going to be taking you below sea level, so you'll be able to see a view very similar to the one that Peter Jackson had when he was making King Kong. Pick up any personal belongings on the tram floors you don't want getting wet, and beware. There may be some more water just around the corner.